In this video, we are going to walk you through setting up your custom tabs. Click Maintenance on the nav bar, go to Respondent Custom Tabs, and here's where you can name each tab. Click the Edit button for tab 1. Let's give it a name. Let's say Cell Phone. Click Save. Let's set a name for Custom Tab 2. We'll call this one Cars. Custom Tab 3. Financial, for instance. Custom Tab 4. Gaming. And the last tab we will name Alcohol. Now if we go to review a respondent's profile, we'll go to Respondent List and we'll search for a respondent. And we'll note that the custom tabs now are the names we just set. If you notice on Custom Tab 1, which is currently named Cell Phone, we have a question: do you have a case for your phone? And it is a series of checkboxes. Let's alter that by going to the Custom Tabs Questions screen, which is located off the Maintenance menu. Custom tabs basically are broken up into 5 distinct tabs, as we've seen, and each tab has 10 possible questions. Each question has 3 slots, or 3 possible questions. So for question 1 on Custom Tab 1, we have 3 possible questions: either a radio button, a drop down, or a checkbox. But note that only one of the 3 for each question slot can be active. Currently, we can see here on question 1 on the Cell Phone tab, we have the checkbox question type active. Do you have a case for your phone? And we did just see that on the respondent profile here. You can see that under the Cell Phone tab is, do you have a case for your phone? So now let's change that and let's activate the radio button question for question 1 here, which is how many cell phones have you owned in the past? So to activate the radio question and deactivate the checkbox question, what we will do is go to the radio question, click Edit, select Active, yes, save, and now we can see that the radio button for question 1 is now active. We have the green arrow here. How many cell phones have you owned in the past? So if we go back to the respondent profile and we refresh this screen, let's go to the Cell Phone tab, we can see that the question's now changed. How many cell phones have you owned in the past? And we note that it's radio buttons. Radio buttons, of course, behave slightly differently from checkboxes. Let's take a look at how to create a brand new question. Let's study question 2 on Custom Tab 1, for instance. We note that we have, that's the yellow icons. We note that we have one question right now that's active: are you a smartphone user? And it's a radio button. If we go back to the respondent profile, and we can see are you a smartphone user is currently active. But let's create a whole brand new question. Let's make a drop down question. So what I'll do is I'll click Edit here on drop down, question 2, and we'll enter a question now for question 2. Let's say, does anyone else in your household own a cell phone? And let's make this active, and I'll click Save. And now you'll note that for question 2, drop down, does anyone else in your household have own a cell phone is active, right? But we don't have any attributes for it. So let's create attributes for this question. If you go to the attributes column, Here's your attributes count for this question. Note it's 0, but this is a link. If I click the 0, now I can create attributes for does anyone else in your household own a cell phone. So click create new attribute. We'll say yes is one choice. Create. We'll create another attribute. We'll say no. I'll click create and I go back to the list. And here we are. We've created 2 attributes for the question, does anyone else in your household own a cell phone? So let's go back to the respondent profile and we can see here's question 2. I'm going to refresh this screen here. Go to the cell phone tab and you see now question 2 is changed. It now reads, does anyone else in your household own a cell phone? If we hit the drop down, we'll notice that there's 2 choices, yes or no. The other thing to note about the Custom Tabs module is that we can actually search. So I can actually easily filter here. Let's say if I wanted to look specifically at question 3, if I type in Q3, then it will just show me the question 3 questions or question slots for a cell phone, in this case Custom Tab 1. I can also perhaps just search on the word true here, and I can quickly look at all my active questions here. You can see in this case I have 8 active questions for my cell phone tab. Each of the custom tabs are accessible by the quick links here. So this would be my cars tab and my cars question, my financial tab, which corresponds to custom tab 3, my custom tab 4, which I've named gaming, and my custom tab 5, which is named alcohol. To deactivate an active question, let's take a look at question 2 on custom tab 1. I'll type Q2 to highlight it. We can see that the question we created, does anyone else in your household own a cell phone, is currently active. But I can click edit and say active no, click save, go back to question 2, and currently right now for question 2 I have no active questions. Let's go ahead and reactivate it for this test here. I'll go back to edit. And now question 2, we can see we have our active question here, which is our newly created, does anyone else in your household own a cell phone? You can see that we have the 2 attributes we created here as well. We did actually save on the respondent's profile here, we did save does anyone else in your household own a cell phone? So if I go back to this question, I can actually delete this question from my system. And when I click delete here, it says, are you sure you want to delete this? This will clear the question text, delete all attributes linked to this question, delete those attributes from all respondent profiles. Here, I can see that there's 2 attributes linked to this question, and there's, in this case, only 1 respondent who has that. So if I click delete, the question, the attributes, and any link to respondent data for that question has been deleted. So any question that is active in the custom tabs that you have set as active will appear in the respondent profile. As well, it will appear in the search database, which is under jobs, search database. On search database now you'll see that we have our custom tabs here, which correspond to the custom tabs we've set up in the maintenance area, cell phone, cars, financial, gaming, alcohol in this case. So whatever we've set up in the maintenance screens will be reflected here. Whatever is active in maintenance is active here. Whatever questions we have set up in maintenance is active will be shown here. The attributes will also be shown here. And that is how we set up custom tabs in Focus Pocus.